Welcome back to another episode of Bischel Ball. My name is JP Sponseller, joined by Corey Klingenbeck and Cole Harding. This episode is brought to you by Mio's Pizza. Kling, hit us with the ad.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Mio's Pizzeria. Inside Bearcats fans, we like to invite you to Mio's, conveniently located on Short Vine. Fans, that's approximately 0.63 miles away from the baseball field. Before every game, home game, enjoy $2 Coors Lights and $4 Traveler whiskey lemonades. Enjoy a family fun environment for pregame food and entertainment before Bearcats baseball games. Right after they serve you with an ice cold beer, mixed drinks, and hot pizza, take a nice little quarter-mile stroll over to the UC baseball stadium, cheer on your Bearcats. Mio's will also be streaming every Bearcat baseball game that airs on ESPN Plus inside the bar as well when they're on the road. Let's go.
Great job. Great job, Kling. I only got one thing for you. I'm pretty sure you may have said that it was a 0.63 mile
and quarter mile.
It was a quarter mile walk. So
it's
just
one
so
of
everyone's clear, that was Kling and not provided by Mio's. So we'll have to nail down what the
I think they get the gist of it now. I mean, it's got to be sponsored by Mio's, so I mean, either if it's a quarter mile or 0.76 or 0.83, I think it's probably close to the stadium.
Very doable walk. Yeah, very doable walk for sure. All right, boys. Well, I mean, honestly, pretty solid week. 3-1 week for the boys. Series win over Austin Peay, win the Mountain Dew Classic, and then handle business yesterday in the midweek over Western Kentucky. Yeah, the boys are coming into this series against UC San Diego at 9-4. Don't want to get too far into RPI because it doesn't mean anything yet, but they are still in the top 10, which is a good sign. Just to touch on some of the teams we've played, Jacksonville State only has 3 losses, I believe, right now. They and 2 of them to us, and then 1 last night to Alabama. So they've been playing some good ball, and then obviously Auburn's been on kind of a heater ever since they dropped that midweek against us. And UAB's been really scrappy too. They've been knocking off some good teams and scratching some wins there as well. So, yeah, I'd say the non-conference strength of schedule, which I know may have been we talked about in the offseason, may have been like a little bit more of a focus with some of the teams they were missing in the Big 12. It's seeming 3 weeks in, it's playing out well right now. Yeah. All these teams that we're playing against, and then obviously this one we'll touch on as well, hasn't performed great, but have been playing against some very good competition early on in the year. But do you guys have any thoughts before we get into breaking down these past 4 games?
Just, that's damn good baseball. I said it before we got into probably to this point of the season, but I said it I think I said it earlier on the podcast, but I think I said it to my dad or Seth or somebody. I was like, going into Big 12 play, we have got to be between 13 and 15 wins. So we can go win 15 to 20 wins in the Big 12 and be comfortable with 35 wins going in the tournament. And if we get 13 to 15, I think we're in a fantastic spot from an RPI standpoint, from a wins category, whatever you want to talk about in the strength of schedule standpoint as well. But I think we take a couple or 4 from UC San Diego, and we take one next week again. Who was at Wright State?
I think we have Evansville in the midweek.
Evansville, Wright State's after. But yeah, I mean, we go for possibly 5 more wins before Big 12 play. We're sitting damn good right there.
Yeah. So that's right. We got 5. This will be the last weekend before we open up with BYU, which it did just pop up that my fiance is going to be out of town that weekend. So now I'm suddenly maybe getting the urge to drive 7 hours to Provo. We'll see.
Provo.
But yeah, let's get into this breakdown, starting with game 1 against Austin Peay. This was a 5-4 walk-off win for the Bearcats. I think personally, I mean, obviously by stats and everything, this was definitely Nate Taylor's best start yet. His final line was 6 innings pitched, 4 runs, only 1 of them earned, gave up 6 hits, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. The defense made 4 errors in that game 1, so may have had a little bit of effect on how many runs he actually gave up. But yeah, I thought that was the best he's looked, at least mound presence stuff, strikeout numbers, kind of everything. I know you guys were there in person too, so you guys could speak to that a little bit.
Phenomenal appearance by Nate on the mound. I thought top to bottom, he filled up the zone like he did every game. And you take his performance on the mound, and it's like, it's kind of crazy because you get that performance and then you have the errors behind him. Is it going to help? So I think Petarudo needs to pick it up, get his milk in before the game sometime. So, we'll blame that one on him. But
what is it, 975, right?
Yeah, or 985. We didn't quite reach that mark that game. But, like I said before, Nate pitches like that, and he unfortunately has the defensive day that he had. But, he didn't really let it affect him. He goes, I think the 2 errors that one inning, with the 4th or 5th inning, when they put up 2 or 3 runs, he came back out the next inning and just struck out the side. I'm like, holy, yeah. That's where he bounces back so quick. And that's the mentality that Sheriff drives into those pitchers' heads, and Seth drives into those pitchers' heads, like, wash it and go to the next one, wash it and get the next guy. And that's the short memory you got to have in baseball. And Nate's done such a great job of that the last 3 years. And I saw that happen on Friday night as well.
Yeah, great start for – go ahead.
I wasn't in the stadium, but just like watching him walk on and off the field, like from to and from the mound, you could just tell like he had a little bit of his swagger back too.
Yeah, that's what I kind of picked up.
Yeah, he was kind of finally like feeling his groove, like a lot more comfortable. I don't know if it was just the home mound or what. But then, like Kling said, I mean, he was pitching lights out and a few errors, 1 inning and a single, I think, brought home 2 runs. If defense is cleaned up behind him, and there will be starts too where like he's not going to have his best stuff, but the defense picks him up. So it'll all even out at the end of the day. The main thing I was focusing on is we won the game. So, and it was
absolutely. Yeah. And the bullpen did a great job of coming in and just shutting that game down for the next 4 innings. Chad Brown, Adam Buskowski, and Carson Marsh all combined for 4-inning shutout to finish that game off, and allowed our offense to slowly scrap our way back into it. We were down 4-1 going into the 7th. We were able to scratch 2 in the 7th and then tied it up in the 9th thanks to a big single from Charlie Niehaus. And then obviously we all saw the Quentin Coates walk-off home run in the 10th, which we will show right here.
But he sends that one deep. It's going all the way back. And Coates, he wins it for the Bearcats. One pitch, one bomb for Quentin Coates.
Yeah, I mean, Kling said it best in his little post-game video. There is nothing quite better than a walk-off win on a Friday. I specifically like that view compared to the broadcast one because I love seeing Winsky's arms like just shoot right up in the air after the ball hits the batter's eye. But boys, what was it like being there in person?
Like I said in my post-game interview, like Bearcats fans, if you guys are not getting your butts in the seats this year, you're going to miss something crazy special, because year 3 for Bischel, year 3 for that coaching staff, Petarudo, Sheriff, Winsky, Schrader. I mean, boys, like not going to say they're 20 times better than last year because, he has all of his guys or whatnot, but I think they're going to do something crazy good this year, and I can't wait to see it. So I'm expecting those stands to be filled up quite well this year, every game.
Yeah. I think a big part of this, John, you mentioned what Kling said in his video, like nothing better than a walk-off win on a Friday. I think the bigger part of it was it was a comeback walk-off win because we were down a couple runs there. Well, we were down 4-1, right? 4-1 in the 5th, I think.
Seventh
inning. So that they had us on the ropes there for a second. Found a way to scratch a few runs there in the 7th and then tied in the 9th, and then it only took 1 pitch in the 10th. So when a team has you on the ropes like that and you find a way to bounce back and win, I think that sets a tone for the rest of the weekend as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And kind of like Kling said, for the fans that were there, it's always a good thing to I don't know, make some noise, have some exciting games there in the home openers to kind of keep those
Oh
fans
yeah,
hooked to want to come back for the rest of the year.
there
So
was noise. There was noise there, all right. I heard
there
them.
was
I mean, the
noise.
student section, shout out Ruckus, shout out those students that showed up. You know, they're chirping, they're getting in the opposing team's ears. So and they did. Matter of fact, they
Yeah.
did. And it's funny because I will harp on it, and I hope somebody's listening down there because you'll lose with a class, you win with a class, and I think Austin Peay, you know, their coach lets them do a lot, but you know, I think they got a lot of learning steps to take forward these next couple years with him. I'll keep it
Yeah.
at that.
I think what was I gonna say? I saw someone tweet about this in I think it's a great point. I love that our student section is setting up right above the dugout, but
Yeah.
on the broadcast, it's still just like even when we have a decent amount of people there, when no one sits behind
Dude,
home plate, it just still
so
looks like
bad.
we have no one there.
So bad. And I'm literally was talking to one of the coaches the other day. It was like, if you guys weren't at TCU last year, but it's freaking insane what they do. And it's so nice. After the fifth inning, at the bottom of the fifth, they announce on the PA system that any fans that are in the stadium, those seat backs are open, the stadium seats are open. All the fans are welcome to sit in those stands after the fifth inning if they're not filled.
Yeah.
And I freaking love that. Like why can't we embody that? Because our ushers are up there doing their job, granted, but they're kicking people out in the seventh or eighth inning when nobody's down there. They haven't been down there all game. So
that's what it is.
I hope somebody's listening to this from the usher standpoint or facilities, but because it's like it's just crazy to me how like they're that like I don't know. They got it held down like Fort Knox up there. I'm like,
yeah,
dude.
Okay, so that makes more sense though. They do have ushers up there,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'm assuming that ticket with the seat back is probably a little bit more expensive than the bleacher seat.
Yeah, and it's the season
Right.
ticket holders. That's what they sell the season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also
not like-
think it's going to be better. I mean, that was a 3:00 start on a Friday, so
Oh,
people
for
are still
sure,
working.
for
Yeah,
sure.
people are still working. Like when we get later in the year and we get 5-6 p.m. starts, there'll be more people.
Yeah.
There.
Absolutely.
No, I agree. It was something I even recognized a little bit last year. It's like, oh, I can hear the fans.
Yeah.
Like there's people there, but I can't see anybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the one loss of the week. Game 2, we lost that game 7-1. Logan Knight had not the greatest start on paper, but I mean, this game was totally blamed on the offense. They didn't really get to him until the 4th or 5th inning. His final line was 4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. But like I said, I mean, the story of that day was Caleb Appleby for the Govs. I think we kind of touched on that. We thought he might have the best stuff going into this series, the LSU transfer from 2 years ago. And he shoved it. I mean, I think you just got to tip your cap to that kid after a game like that. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 0 walks, and 6 strikeouts. And it ended the game with 2 hits total and 1 run scored in the 8th. So just really couldn't ever get anything going offensively.
No, and I think what a lot of dudes were saying were none of his balls seemed to end up going straight. They happen to move every different which way or shape or form. So I think that's what he killed. We must have not looked at the scouting report printed out by one of our assistant coaches that must not do a very good job at that. He must be brutal, but he no, it was
trades, bro. He's gonna rip.
No, I don't think I think he was just hitting spots and missing barrels, missing bats. So hats off to that guy for shoving it down our throat that first game.
I will say we did hit quite a few balls hard, just right at people. They made some good plays too. I remember I can count like 2 or 3 balls that I thought were like scorched. Good play, and I think Enzo might have hit 2 or 3 balls like really, really hard.
Oh yeah,
good diving play by the second baseman, and then there was a ball to right field, I think, that got caught. I don't remember if Enzo hit that one or not, but a few balls that were like hit pretty hard. But obviously they made good plays and there was no one on base when that happened. So yeah, didn't produce enough runs to win this one. But shout out that dude, he was shoving. I mean, it was quick work too. It was quick work. So
yeah, all right. Well, enough talking about that. Let's move on to the Game 3 win, the series win, 3-0 win. I have to start this game by shouting out the pitching staff. Adam Brower, Dominic Morrow combining for a shutout, not only on a Sunday game, but game 2 of a doubleheader. When
you're sitting there for 10
I don't know.
hours.
It's just, but it's also just like if you're playing game 3 of your series on game 2 of a doubleheader day, that's usually it doesn't sound great for how your pitching is going to set up. And when you can count on 2 guys to go out there and pitch a shutout, I mean, you can't really ask for much more than that. Brower went 5 2/3 gave up 4 hits and 4 strikeouts, and Morrow went 3 1/3, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts. These guys also, I can't remember which one walked a guy, but 1 free base for the entire game on game 3 of a series. That's good stuff, boys. I don't know about you guys. That's good stuff.
Yeah, Brower walked him, but that's hats off. Sheriff, Seth Logue, just preaching, filling up the zone right there. That's what their mentality is, and you fill up the zone, good things will happen. You make them move the baseball and hit it right at us. That's why there's 7 people behind you.
Yeah, honestly, too, the opposing pitcher, Cade Shatwell, he was. He pitched the whole game.
Yeah, he went 8.
He just kept running him out there. He was filling up the zone too.
So he was actually the guy. Remember, we talked about he was their Friday guy for the first 2 weeks and just couldn't. I mean, had 2 really bad starts, and we expected that they might shuffle that around, but figured it out. Maybe he's just a Sunday guy.
Yeah, but no, a big swing of the bat was the difference in the game. Obviously, Jackson Smith 3-run double.
Yeah, it was good to see.
Middle innings, I believe, 5th inning.
Yeah,
5th.
Yes, it was in the 5th, and that ended up being the difference. Obviously, a 3-0 finish. We'll show you that here real quick.
Turn the double play up the middle.
Got to protect the plate. Ripped it up the middle. Left center. Jackson Smith sends one in. Sends another in. This could be 3, and it is. Jackson Smith with the 3 RBI double.
Obviously, great piece, little backside knock. And then boys moving on the base pass, really pushing the envelope with 1 out there. Obviously, fumbled it a couple times, and we're able to get all 3 of those runs in. So
I will say it is kind of funny because my brother actually talked to Coach Fanahan after the game, and believe it or not, he did say the 2 things that beat him this weekend were 2 swings. That's what it came down to, the walk-off on Friday and this double that scored 3. But you look at it, I mean, I think a lot more than 2 swings beat him this weekend because that dude shoved it on Sunday, or Saturday, both games. I mean, both those pitchers shoved. So, I mean, I think we just stayed with our process. We didn't let the first game on Saturday get the best of us. So came back and battled through the second game. And, I think we had more than 1 hit in the second game beat them. So, but it was kind of funny just listening to him sometimes. I was like, dude, we had 6 hits.
It was 1 hit that beat him in the second game.
Yeah, but it's just like
a 3 RBI double, and that it was this 3-0 game.
I know, and I'm just saying, like, I think more than 1 hit beat him all week.
Yeah,
2 hits beat him all weekend, like in the wide scheme of things. But like, whatever.
Obviously, I mean, you can look at it 2 ways. 1 swing of the bat for the Bearcats crossed all 3 runs over the plate, but they also, I mean, our pitching staff pitched pretty well. So I think you give kudos to both sides of the ball, just finding a way to get the job done and scratching out the series win there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Always great to win a series. I honestly expected this series to be way more offensive than it ended up being.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people anticipated that. I know the over-under on Friday was set for like 14.5, which for a Friday night game, those are usually around 10 or 11. So people were expecting some offense in that series. So I guess kudos to the pitching staff, bouncing back after not their best week last week, bounce back against what is supposed to be a pretty solid offensive team, and great weekend. And they didn't stop there as we roll into the midweek against Western Kentucky, the 5-2 win. Connor Blue was on the mound to start. He went 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, neither of them earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And then Pinheiro and Carson Marsh combined for 5 shutout innings. Again, great stuff in a midweek. I don't care who you're playing. You give up 2 runs, throw the ball over the plate. That's great stuff. It's kind of a back and forth game.
Midweeks
they do
matter.
Absolutely.
They're some of the biggest games.
No, I mean that more just from obvious, like depending on your staff and
it could be
sometimes midweeks can get a little ugly. And
it could be a Johnny Holstaff game, and but we're finding ways to pitch it pretty well in midweeks, which is huge.
Well, yeah, I'll come out and say this just from 3 weeks. I think this is the deepest Bearcats pitching staff I've ever seen. As far as depth, I mean, it's gotten better over the past couple years, but I mean, Corey, Cole, from the teams even you guys played on, from these first 3 weeks, it feels like the amount of guys that you can roll out there and count on, especially young guys so far, has been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
No,
I think they're definitely like 8 or 9, 10 deep this year, which is amazing because that's what you need going into these weekends, double headers especially, and then you go into a regional, you're going to play possibly 5 games, maybe 4 or 5 games. So unless you don't win 3 in a row, so that's definitely something you're going to need down the stretches, arms, and I think they did a really good job bringing in arms this year.
Yeah, and the offense from yesterday's game, he had obviously Quentin Coates had a huge day, 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a solo homer. Jackson Smith was on base 4 times with 2 hits and 2 walks, and then Jack Natilli also 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs there. Just did enough to get it done and get the midweek win and get out of where is Western Kentucky?
Bowling Green,
Kentucky.
About 3.5 hours south.
Get back up to Clifton, baby.
Play some off on the way home.
Got 2 errors again. KP got to figure out that milk before the game, babe. You have to.
Yeah, that's what. Well, that was going to be one of my talking points to be negative about a 3-1 week. Couple things to try to be critical here. The 9 errors in 4 games, a little. I'm not like overly concerned about it, just because this team has played very well defensively over the past 2 years, but I guess kind of it's sticking out to me a little bit because it seems a little abnormal from the past 2 years.
Yeah, as long as we keep keep hitting it.
Yeah, just finding ways to win baseball games. That's what they're doing. That's what I think this week was for them.
Yeah.
And this is always going to happen to teams, especially at the beginning of the year, like going through some early season. We're still early in the season, so some early season struggles. But finding ways to win those games when you're struggling is the key to like being a good team. Like you're not going to have your best stuff. You're not going to roll out the best lineup. Maybe like whatever lineup you roll out, it's not going to perform their best every day. So finding ways to win those games is huge. It's key part of being a really good team.
Just scrappy at the end of the day.
For sure.
Scrappy, gritty.
I think it could have something to do with, especially on the infield, it seems like a lot of guys are getting moved around right now.
I think we've talked about that in the past too, John. Like just once everyone gets settled in their spots, everything seems to like smoothen out and work a lot more efficiently.
Yeah. And then the other thing to be critical, going in after or up to date, offensively, we have 116 strikeouts and 59 walks right now. So I think that number has trended in the right direction since week 1, but still would like to see that even out a little bit more. just because at least right now we're not hitting at exceptional power numbers across the board. So I just think if we could cut down on the strikeouts a little bit, it's just going to improve our offense and ability to score runs that much more. But some positive points. We are hitting 280 as a team right now, which I feel like, especially with the amount of movement of guys in and out of the lineup, is very solid. And 38 for 40 on stolen bases, which is outstanding.
Cheetah.
Yeah, boys,
Cincinnati
boys are
Cheetah.
running.
It's the cheetah cleats.
Shout out Coach Dubs, baby.
Yeah, he's on the scouting reports heavy. He's got those boys all over there. Couple offensive leaders to this point. Derek Pitts is hitting 370 with 4 doubles, 7 RBIs, and leading the team with 8 stolen bases. Enzo Infelice is hitting 340 with 6 doubles. Quentin Coates is hitting 333 with 3 doubles, 1 triple, 6 home runs, and leading the team with 16 RBIs. And Jack Natilli is hitting 320 with a double, a homer, and second on the team with 10 RBIs. And then also had to shout out Jackson Smith, hitting just under 300 at 294, but on base percentage of 564 and is second on the team in 7 stolen bases. So if you're wondering why that dude has his name near the top of the order just about every game, it's because he's getting on base more than he's not. So if he can keep doing that and running like he does, I just keep throwing him out there every game.
Yeah. Moneyball. Why do we like him?
Because he gets on base.
And then from the pitching side of things, team ERA of 3.94 right now, which is really solid. And wanted to shout out the bullpen specifically. Couple guys with some really good ERAs right now. Joel Pinheiro still has a 0 ERA through 8 2/3, which is great to see early out of him. And then Dominic Morrow with 1.74 ERA through 10 1/3. And Connor Blue, I know he's got a couple starts in there, but with a 1.5 through 12 innings pitched. And we touched on it a little bit earlier, but this team has issued 42 walks and they have 116 strikeouts. So filling up the zone. And I don't even consider some of these guys as like heavy strikeout guys. And I think that's just what happens when you attack the zone and get ahead in counts.
Definitely got to give some love to Seth Logue down there in the bullpen, holding it down, getting his guys ready.
Yeah.
How we do it, Coach Seth Logue. Yeah, shout out to him. Give some love to that guy. So he's been working his butt off getting these dudes right. So, glad things are trending in the right direction when those dudes coming out of the pen.
Yeah, there's got to be something to say about that, right? As far as just having a good headspace when you're jogging in from left field.
I think Seth just says the right things to him, gets him doing the right stuff. You never know. Might be coaching, might be play. You never know. Might be.
Yeah, I wonder what. What?
I said it's a mixture of both. These guys are shoving
for sure. I wonder what Seth's demeanor is as a coach, though.
I know.
Does he
I
fire people up, or is it more of like even keel, or?
Yeah, more even, I would say.
Yeah, gotta be.
I feel like pretty calm.
Yeah, last year he obviously was more pitchers, but he was in the dugout last year, so he'd always give you your pep talk or your what you need to work on, what you need to be better at, or he'd just give you some love. He was always that guy, positive dude, 24/7.
I would say probably a little different this year since there's more guys that he didn't actually play with.
Yeah, and they moved him down to the bullpen this year, so he's not in the dugout at all. So I guess he's got a different angle of the field, definitely. So he must be doing his thing down there.
All right, well, let's get into previewing this weekend series. The UC San Diego Tritons are coming to town. They are coming in at 4-6 on the year, but don't get fooled by this record or these numbers. If you remember last year, I know we didn't have a great weekend, but they did beat the Bearcats 3-1 in the series in San Diego last year, and these guys had an opening weekend series at UCLA, and then they just finished up last weekend at the Teague at the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, which is a good ball club and very tough place to play. So, Yeah, I anticipate this being another like pretty gritty series. I mean, I think we're the better team. But this is not going to be some sort of a
Cakewalk.
pushover. Like I said, don't read. I'm not reading too much into these numbers. They're at a team batting average of 203 and a team ERA of 5.9, and teams are hitting 299 against them. So not great numbers coming into this series. We look at the starting pitchers. I don't know who they're going to throw in game 4, but I know the first 3 they'll roll out on tomorrow. Steele Murdoch, he's got a 6.75 ERA through 12 innings pitched, 7 walks and 16 strikeouts. Saturday or Friday, they will throw Nick Gregson, 6.28 ERA through 14 and a third, 5 walks, 15 strikeouts. And then the guy with the best numbers, their game 3 starter, Austin Bowker, with the 2.25 ERA through 8 innings pitched, though, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. So he's done a good job as an opener, but I don't think he's gotten into like the 4th inning yet in a game. He's kind of just been holding it down as opening on Sundays. Do you guys have any thoughts, I guess?
Can you show me that Thursday starter's name again? Was that like a pretty elite name I just heard?
Yeah, Steele Murdoch.
Yeah, that's a good name. I like
a little
that.
Intimidating, honestly.
Yeah.
But no,
I like you said, it's still early in the year. Some of those numbers against them, especially against their pitching staff, might be a little inflated. Especially when you played a series against a UCLA team who looks absolutely dominant and nasty. So I think just some of those numbers being inflated, this team's a lot better than what the paper or what it says on paper. But I couldn't agree more that I see this being a very gritty series again. At home this time, hopefully we find a way to play or take at least 2, hopefully 3 from this team. I think it'll be a hard sweep.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Hard sweep, no doubt. Definitely can't take a team like this lightly coming from the West Coast, and I don't think they're going to use the excuses, whether this or whether that, or it's cold, it's rainy. I think they're just going to come out here and be gritty. You never know. We went out there and expected to win 4 games, didn't really put our foot on the pedal right away. So you never know what they come over from the West Coast bringing.
Get our get back this.
Yeah, I think too, it looks like first weekend they were in LA, so not too far travel. Second weekend they were home. And then, last weekend in Lafayette. And I wonder, no, they definitely went back home because they didn't have a midweek. But
dang.
Yeah, so we are catching them on like a little 2-week road stretch. So that might give us a slight advantage there. Especially, just 2 strong teams in a row in Louisiana and then coming into Cincinnati. I'm hoping, I know the weather's not looking too good for us, but I'm hoping we can get some butts in the seats this weekend and make it a pretty fun environment for these guys.
Yeah, your butt might be wet, but hopefully it's in the seat, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They got some coverage up there. A little bit.
Yeah. Probably, hopefully they let people sit in the seat backs and then they'll be fine, but they'll probably kick everybody out.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else to add before we get into some of these fan questions that were submitted to us?
Oh, probably just a shout outs to all the people. Me and Cole and I went to these 2 games on Saturday together. So definitely give a shout out to those dads that approached us. Enzo's dad, Jackson Reardon's dad. Got Scott Coach, you got Jeff Gentile, and you got Luke Sepsik and Cal Sepsik's dad. They gave us some love. So whenever we're around, just come, feel free to say what's up, say hi to me or Cole. And, we do this because everybody loves it. And we don't do this for ourselves. We love talking college ball. So if we're around, shoot the shit with us and feel free to come say what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. Okay. So first one's kind of a non-UC question, and then we did get a couple UC questions. Sean Springer, best food spots you've been to when traveling for baseball throughout college?
Do you have any that jump out John, or did you have your answer prepared? I might need a minute to think here.
I am trying to think back more to like when I was actually playing and traveling. I'm thinking of like the first two things that stick out to me is like one, the best food is just straight out of left field in Mississippi State, not even an establishment. Just go find someone with a grill out there and it'll be unreal. They also had a couple restaurants on that strip that were solid. Didn't get food there, but the Wagon Wheel in Lawrence, Kansas, awesome bar. Find yourself in Lawrence. Yeah, you guys got anything?
I'm just gonna go off the top of my head just because it's not here. I just got to go In-N-Out. I mean, when we were in Tucson last year, I think In-N-Out hit the spot. So I think In-N-Out was. There's probably some, like I said earlier. I think that barbecue place we went in Kansas, in Lawrence, Kansas, it was incredible. But I don't know. Those are like the two that stick out to me. Nothing crazy because like we went out like once or twice, but it was more like cater food, get back late, and just. Depending on if we go.
It's just like the last thing you want to do is go like Uber to a restaurant and sit down somewhere.
I mean, we did a couple sightseeing trips out when we were on the road. We'll keep that here, but we did a couple of sightseeing.
I got a good little story. My freshman year, I got a pretty good pulled pork sandwich from the Jungle at ECU. Yeah. I believe they said it was called B's Barbecue. Just the letter B and then like apostrophe S. Pretty sure it's right there in Greenville. I
just saw an ad on that place like pop up on Twitter or something. It said that like people line up, like they must post their times where they like their stuff comes out fresh and people like line up for it.
They said they only make like so much per day. And then there's a huge line of everyone lined up. Once it's all like prepared, they'll start handing it out. And when it's gone, it's gone. So I think they had gotten me a sandwich earlier that day. They did end up having to throw it onto the field and me stick it in my back pocket. And I ate it a little bit after the game, but was still immaculate. Pretty good sandwich.
Nice.
And then there was a place in Spartansburg when we would go on spring break trips that back-to-back years. We went on the spring break trips and stayed there. I forget the name of it, but it was pretty solid. My parents took me like once or twice. We were there for like a week. So once or twice, my parents took me there. It was pretty solid. It had good food, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I got anything else.
It's also an interesting question coming from Sean, who just found the closest Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's, or Domino's.
Yeah, he would just order. He had the Domino's app and would just fire that thing up every time we got back to the hotel.
I will say he was pretty good at timing it up, though, because sometimes he would get his food like as the bus was pulling up. It's pretty elite timing.
He would have it timed up really good.
Pretty elite timing.
Yeah, he knew like based off of like how many miles away it was, like exactly how to dial it up. By like year 3 and 4, he had that down to a science.
Dude was waiting at the door like as he got off the bus and was just taking his food back upstairs.
Yeah, Domino's guy just waiting for us in the lobby. Good stuff. All right, the two couple UC questions that we got. First one from AJ Olding. Are we going to see Tommy Boba this year? I miss 8 innings of no-hit baseball against Kansas. I do too. I actually checked in with Boba just to kind of get a read on this situation and see what I should share and not share. In his own words, short answer, ramping up and trying to give it a go for this year, but still some measurables that he needs to clear to be able to get on the mound in a game, as well as what the situation of the pitching staff is at that given time, because he would be able to get another year of eligibility if he did not pitch this year. So that's kind of where he's at. He's ramping up, getting healthy, but him along with the staff, not quite sure that they want to test it here. Just kind of waiting to get a final read on the situation.
I was going to say, like, the staff as a whole is in a pretty good spot right now too. So with coming off of that sort of injury, you want to be absolutely sure you're healthy and ready to go. So I know Boba's a dude that loves to compete, loves to pitch, and takes pitching like very seriously. So when he's ready, and I know he's itching to get back out there. So when he's ready, I'm sure whenever that is, we will see him back out on the mound.
Yeah, and definitely, us three right here can attest to this. If we could find another year, hey, we're gonna find that another year. Like playing college ball, hey, I'm gonna like twist an arm or you know what, last game of the season, just do something to get another year. But what I'm saying, don't rush it back because I know all the fans are itching to see him back on the mound, but you got to know you're 100% before you get back out there. And hey, if
His
you can
health
find
is
another,
the biggest thing.
Yeah, find another year. Don't rush it because college baseball doesn't last forever, and I damn sure wish it did.
Yeah, you only get so many bullets out of that arm, so you may as well make them count. That's
yes,
for sure.
Sir.
And the next question from Ryan Galeen. We're currently 107th in home runs. Outside of Coates, who is a stud, we have almost no power so far this year. Where do we think more power can come from? I think first one that pops out right away is Jack Natili. He's definitely going to come around and start hitting for more power numbers. It's just honest. I don't know. It's just science at this point. It's going to happen. I don't really have any rhyme or reason to why. I just know it's going to happen.
The world works.
Yeah. And another one that is Enzo and Felice. I mean, he's hitting for a great average right now, hitting the ball really, really hard. And he's a freshman. So it's just a matter of time, whether that be this year or maybe not till next year. But there is definitely some power in that bat for sure. You guys got anything? I mean, I think there's a couple others that, Corey, obviously you played with some of these guys last year and have seen them practice, at least for some that we haven't seen a ton of.
The big names that pop out are right with like Natili, Pitts. You can scratch one out of Chuck when he gets a hold of one like he did at UAB. You can scratch a couple out of Conlon when he starts heating up, but there's just such a right time when you start finding the barrel and everything starts looking like a beach ball because it's just a matter of time till those beach balls start getting bigger and bigger. And I mean, I wouldn't stress about the power right now. It's definitely, we don't preach that style of baseball. That's not something, Bischel's going to preach about, but he's going to preach about finding that barrel every single at bat. He's going to say, get your bunts down, get your guys over, move them over, do the job. But then again, I think there's 5 or 6 guys in that lineup that can run into a couple that when it comes midseason. I think there's going to be, I bet there's probably 3 or 4 guys at the end of the season in double-digit home runs.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. And to your point, I don't anticipate us being in the top whatever for power numbers or home runs at the end of the year. I guarantee you we'll be in the top 10 of stolen bases and maybe on base percentage or something like that. But you talk about a guy like Derek Pitts, this maybe next year, is he capable of a 10 to 15 home run season?
Or you can sneak Enzo in there for 8 to 10 too.
I think Enzo is capable of potentially a 20 home run season at some point in his career. Yeah. But what I was going to say about Pitts is I'm not going to try to really push that out of him if the kid can hit 380 and lead my team in stolen bases and not get thrown out, I'll take it.
Yeah.
A single turn into a double every time, you're not going to be upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The big one that stood out to me, I think it's Enzo. I mean, just after watching him finally in person this weekend, some of the balls he's hitting are hit so hard. He has a good feel for his at-bats in the barrel. He's finding the barrel a lot. It's just elevating it a little more, which will come. I'd rather him scorch singles than, strike out or try to hit home runs and that not happen. So as long as he keeps finding that barrel, I think you'll start to see some more balls leave the yard from off of his bat as well.
Yeah, and I think he'll also, like, as he continues to get more comfortable, you may see him maybe like open it up a bit in some plus counts. Like, I know he takes some hacks already, but I don't know, just a freshman, you might see him get a little more comfortable in like some 2-0, 2-1 counts and start trying to get the head out a little bit, which I would
Yeah.
not hate to see at all. I can't. I have a feeling his first, like, since we've been waiting on it, I have a feeling his first homer is just going to be absolutely launched.
Just a nuke. Me and his dad.
No doubt.
I was like, hey man, I'm just waiting for him to like backspin one. Just
Yeah.
backspin one to left center. He goes, me too, brother. Me too. So we know what's coming. I'm gonna have to like get Mr. Infelice's number and like text him when it does. Hopefully it happens at home and I'm like standing right next to him and we can like just share a big hug or something. I don't know.
Just cheers, chug.
Yeah. But no, that was the obvious answer for me. I think, like you said, John, we're producing runs and we're not a team that's going to end the year in top 10 in home runs. So we're not expecting to do that, but give it time and power will prevail or reveal itself.
And also like the guy that he mentioned, Quentin Coates, who's on pace for like a 20 home run season right now in his sophomore year, which is awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so that'll wrap up our fan questions. We got another 4-game set in Clifton this week. So if you guys are listening, make sure to dodge the rain, get out there and support the boys, make this a fun atmosphere, and give those Tritons hell. They're on their second week in a row on the road, so let's make it tough on them. Boys, do you have any closing remarks before we wrap this thing up?
Go Cats.
Let's go Bearcats. Like, let's have a weekend.
Yeah, let's stay hot.
Mio's is open when it rains, just so you guys know.
Mio's is open and KP needs his milk.
Yeah, St. Patty's Day weekend. It might be just a rainy Mio's day, Mio's weekend for the boys. Green beers. Yeah.
Keep you busy in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, that will wrap up this week's episode. If you are listening, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Music, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week. Go Cats.